So this is an Elk Hair Caddis. I'm going to start off with a size 12 dry fly hook, and I'm going to tie this in a gray Elk Hair Caddis. So I'm going to use a rusty dun for my thread. I'm just going to get that started on here and break off that excess. And then I'm going to tie in my hackle, and for this, again, because it's gray, I'm going to use a dun colored hackle, and I've already picked out a section to tie in. Just going to attach that, cleaned off the stem. Just going to attach that right to the hook. I'm going to bring it back to about where the barb of the hook would be. And then I'm going to take some dry fly dubbing. This is a natural gray. And I'm just going to put that right on the thread. Just start to dub that on. Get a good clump there. And now I can just start to wind that right onto the hook. And I'm going to take one more clump just to get me back up to the front of the fly and smooth out any high spots as I go along. And then tie that in. Now I can start to advance my hackle through the dub section, just making nice even turns. All the way up to the front, and then I can tie that in. And then I'll take that excess and trim it off, but I'll also cut back these fibers at an angle. I got a little tail in here, I'll take that off as well. And now I'm ready for the elk haired part. So I'm going to use a natural light elk hair for this. I'm going to take off a clump that is a little bit smaller than maybe a pencil width in diameter. And I always take more than what I think I'll need. As you start to clean off some of the under fur, those fibers will come with it and they'll start to get small. So I just brush it first through just with my finger there to clean off any loose ends. And then I have a small comb that I'll just brush through and make sure that it's completely cleaned out. This will help it stack better. And then when I'm happy with that, I can just use my stacker, put it in tip first, give it a couple whacks, and then when I separate it, all those tips should be aligned. So I'll pull it out tip first. If there's any long pieces then, I can just knock those right off again. And when I'm happy with my section, I'm going to pull out a couple of fibers here that are off. And when I'm happy with my section, then I can measure them up, switch hands, get the length that I'm looking for, and then just take a straight cut through the top. Make two light wraps through first, and then pull straight down. And on that second pull, then I assist these fibers in flaring out a little. You don't want to pull too hard or you'll you'll break your thread. So now that I've got 2 wraps through, the next thing I like to do is take maybe 3 wraps through the head itself. And so I'll pull back the hairs and I'll take the wraps right through. This makes it nice and secure. It also helps to round out that head. And once I'm comfortable with everything there, I'll pull everything back and start to make wraps underneath there to hold it up as well. And then also I can come back through and put in my whip finishes to hold everything in place. Trim off my excess thread. Now I'll just start to shape the head a bit just to get it right how I want it. Stand up that back section. And there it is. Real popular pattern. Real effective. Does a good job. You can tie it in a bunch of different colors to match what caddis you have in your area. But that is an elk hair caddis.